even before I started showing my face, I felt confident that I could continue with faceless content even with this new update. There are some channels right now that are making $50,000 a month with AI content, and they're doing it right, like this channel. And then this channel as well. It doesn't have to be Hollywood level production, but you guys have to know what's good enough to garner the right amount of views and what's not. The difference between a good AI channel and a bad AI channel. Does it actually bring, and these channels do that very well. And they're doing it right because a guy was posting to the YouTube forum right here about how his channel got demonetized. And I also saw another thread of another guy on the YouTube forum complaining about the same thing. But guess what the common denominator was? Top 5 countdown, water in the mouth, funny reactions, reading Reddit stories with AI voices, and Minecraft in the background. It's very possible you might get demonetized. On July 15th, 2025, YouTube is updating our guidelines to better identify mass-produced and repetitious content. Every single platform shifts the rules, and if you're building anything long-term, learning to adapt is non-negotiable. So let's get into what this really means for the future of YouTube, especially for AI automation channels, faceless creators, and reaction style content. Hey guys, so today is, oh man, it's 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to all my Americans here in the USA. I wore the shades because it's a day of celebration, and this one's about to get spicy, but I got to take them off because we're about to get serious. This is a hot topic. I had to put them on for it, but today we're going to be talking about YouTube. So YouTube 2 days ago quietly dropped a pretty big policy update. A few people from my Discord reached out asking for my thoughts on it, and yeah, a lot of people are scared, which I understand. There aren't even any official videos talking about it at the time I'm recording this, so before everyone spirals, let's actually break it down and talk about what this means for the future of faceless channels, AI automation, and reaction content. Because it's not all doom and gloom, but there's definitely stuff we need to pay attention to. So YouTube just made a big change to their partner program. Not this top section, that's just some cleanup on the ad policy. But what really matters is this paragraph right here. Updates to the YouTube partner program monetization policies. In order to monetize as part of the YouTube partner program, YouTube has always required creators to upload original and authentic content. Like how they put that in quotes there. It's very vague. On July 15th, 2025, YouTube is updating our guidelines to better identify mass-produced and repetitious content. This update better reflects what inauthentic content looks like today. So they're calling out inauthentic, low-effort stuff, but they didn't really define what that means. They kind of put it in quotes, so everyone's jumping to conclusions. This is what people are concerned about. When a channel's content consists of similar content, it can frustrate viewers who come to YouTube for appealing and interesting videos. That means channels where content is only slightly different from video to video are not allowed to monetize. Similar repetitive content or mindless content with low educational value, commentary, or narrative, mass-produced or content using the same template across multiple videos, image slideshows, or scrolling text with minimal to no narrative, commentary, or educational value. So this word mass-produced obviously is concerning to some people. And this part says content that exclusively features readings of other materials you did not originally create, like text from websites or news feeds. Those Reddit thread pages that are made with AI, hello?
Yeah, man, just buy my software, man. You can pay $50 a month. We'll post all these Reddit threads for you 3 times a day to your YouTube Shorts feed, and you'll get monetized.
Bruh. So hopefully you already know that type of content doesn't work, but if not, I hope to teach you guys how to avoid making low effort content like that provides no transformative value. Now, a lot of people are scared still with this new policy, and I get it, because I teach people how to make content with AI, faceless formats, automations. So a lot of you either already create that kind of content or you came here to learn how, and now it feels like the sky is falling and it's the end of the road. Let's slow it down for a second. So yeah, this goes live in 2 weeks, and the wording is vague and it can trigger some anxiety in some of us, but still, this isn't the end of faceless content. It's not the end of automation, and it's not the end of reaction channels. It's just a reminder that platforms evolve and we have to evolve with them. Keep doing your thing. Keep pushing. Every single platform shifts the rules, and if you're building anything long-term, learning to adapt is non-negotiable. So let's get into what this really means for the future of YouTube, especially for AI automation channels, faceless creators, and reaction style content. Now, before I break down why automation and faceless channels aren't going anywhere, I want to touch on something I think matters now more than ever, and that's that I started showing my face on this channel recently, not because I had to, even though I had a feeling something like this may happen as the technology got better and people produced mass amounts of content, but because I wanted to. I wanted to build a brand, like a real brand. And that's what this comes down to, is like making something that's transformative, not another 10x Finances clone, which was my name before this, that sounds like an AI made it on autopilot. So I rebranded to Michael Gurgis, my actual name. Do I still make faceless videos sometimes? Absolutely. because sometimes that format just works better. It's easier. Some audiences even prefer it. But now, even when I drop faceless content, I might sneak my face in the intro or the corner or the outro like I'm doing right now, because if you see my face enough times, you're going to remember it. And aside from it being transformative and original, another aspect of that I want to teach you guys is if you're considering a personal brand versus a faceless brand, you got to know the pros and cons of each. If I start a second channel, you'll know it's me. That's the thing with faceless channels. Yeah, of course the pros are you can sit in your boxers, record on a mic track, and nobody would ever know. But for most faceless creators who have no branding behind their content, if their channel vanishes, so do they. They can't go on a podcast and show up in the thumbnail and have people clicking just to see them talk about their wisdom. They don't get the added leverage of having their face associated with their brand. They can't get the trust from their audience that a personality or a personal brand would have when they release a product, for example, or they do coaching, because they're always hiding behind the anonymity, which is a pro and a con. But most times, a faceless channel, the logo doesn't have a personality unless you make it have a personality. So let me be clear. You don't have to be on camera to build something real. Even faceless channels, if done right, which if you follow me, I'll show you how to do, whether you're doing a personal brand or a faceless brand, have a voice. Some creators use their own voice. Some hire someone with charisma and tone. And some are using AI voices that sound so natural that they are the brand. But a voice goes beyond that, of course. It's about your brand identity in general and what you do to make it transformative. So yeah, a faceless channel can still have soul and it can still have authority, but you've got to inject the personality in something original somewhere. Now, if you contrast that with a personal brand, you become the product, you become portable, you can move to whatever channel or social media you need to because you still have that leverage from the other one. So you become remembered, and it's less effort in some ways, and of course more in others. But still, both models work. Now, speaking of models that work, this next part is where things get really interesting. Let's talk about AI content. So this is specifically what they're talking about here. Some of y'all are printing money right now, and YouTube knows that, but they don't want to give their advertisers space on channels that are super repetitive or just basically making duplicate content, because then their advertisers' dollars are wasted on a low quality audience. However, there are some channels right now that are making $50,000 a month with AI content, and they're doing it right. Like this channel, Boring History. They're basically making history videos for sleep. Boring History for sleep. They're like 6 hours. That's crazy. 6 hours long, 4,000 views. I mean, you do the math on that, right? But they're making literally 50,000 US American dollars a month. And then this channel as well, Cave Tales, same kind of concept. They're just making them about cavemen. So this one's 2 hours, and basically this one's marketed as a sleep video. So people put these on for sleep, and they're just AI generated images with a stock footage of some ember fire going over it and an AI generated voice and script. But the AI voice is so good that it's actually entertaining. And when it's actually having entertainment value, that's the difference between a good AI channel and a bad AI channel. Does it actually bring value, or entertainment being the value, to the viewer? And these channels do that very well because they get views organically, and they're doing it right because it doesn't sound like an AI voice, and they've actually built a brand around that. And they're generating 50,000 US dollars a month doing so. And again, fully automated production. It just takes a human to put them together. Probably takes about an hour or so for each video, considering how long these videos are. But the craziest part is it's working, and the content feels original enough that YouTube might let this kind of stuff slide, and I would bet that they do, because again, it's actually entertaining. But the real issue isn't those channels, it's the wave of people trying to copy that model poorly, whether it's in this niche or another niche. If you're creating content with an AI voice that is clearly AI, you're going to get in trouble. Or if the video is very bad quality and repetitive and mass produced, you're going to get in trouble. So here's an example of that. Barry's TV. This channel posts a lot of repetitive content. Nothing in it is new. The script is always either the alphabet or counting from A to Z or the planets or something like that, right? Obviously it's for kids, but the problem is the content looks like crap and the voice is clearly AI. You can't have both of those things going on. It's very low effort, and YouTube can snuff that out. And how I found this channel was a guy was posting to the YouTube forum right here about how his channel got demonetized. And I also saw another thread of another guy on the YouTube forum complaining about the same thing, and he described his channel as a movie channel where he wrote the scripts. But guess what the common denominator was between this kid's channel right here and the movie channel? It was the AI voice. Both of them had an AI voice, and neither one of them was as good as this one. Neither one of them was actually a quality level of entertainment that is deemed, at least professional enough. Doesn't have to be Hollywood level production, but you guys have to know what's good enough to garner the right amount of views and what's not. Because if you're posting 100 videos a day and you just want to garner some views and they're all AI generated video and each one of those videos gets like 2 views, yeah, eventually you could reach the 4,000 watch hours and eventually you can get 1,000 subscribers. But is that really the right way to do it? No, absolutely not. And YouTube knows that, and you know that, because the content is not quality. It's not providing any actual value. And that's exactly what YouTube wants. So again, these channels do fine because there's a difference in quality. And if it's not made with the intent to truly entertain or educate, and it's just made with the goal to get views like this, you're in trouble. Also, channels that just reword Wikipedia articles and slap on the same generic Midjourney slides, like the same exact pictures for every video, they're probably toast. Another example is people doing content that isn't theirs. So if you're reposting Joe Rogan clips or Andrew Tate or Jordan Peterson or whatever influencer clips and doing nothing to them and it's just for motivation, that might be on its way out too. But those people might be monetizing in a different way. Now, reaction channels are kind of in the hot seat too, but it's not all black and white with those. I mean, for example, have you ever seen those videos of people putting water in their mouth and just letting that small clip of themselves play on top while 100 videos play at the bottom and it's like a 5-hour video? They don't say anything. They just let the content play, just spitting the water out occasionally and raising their eyebrows when something's funny. You've seen them. You can't not see them. We've all seen them. They're on every short feed. All they do is hold water in their mouth, play a funny video at the bottom, and try not to spit it out. No commentary, no voiceover, just wet cheeks. And some of their subscriber counts are insane. And some of them just straight up repost reactions and match them to new clips at scale. That kind of content is built for mass production. It's low effort, zero transformation. So yeah, YouTube's probably gunning for that because they literally don't say anything in the entire video and they just repost clips and they have a clip of themselves basically doing nothing. But let's look at the big picture real quick. YouTube isn't trying to ban commentary reactions in general. Commentary, whether it's long form or short form, has always been protected as fair use. If you're adding criticism, original opinion, education, humor, anything that transforms the base video, you're good. But if you're mass producing clones with no input of your own, that's where the line's getting drawn. But commentary on YouTube is still a thriving business. Guys like this, Dylan Anderson, for example, this guy generates absurd ad revenue on commentary. Dylan has generated billions of views with a B. So that's tons of money in revenue. I mean, look at their top performing videos. Crazy. Or a channel like this, Homath, crazy name, I know, hear me out. He does reactions on dating videos and explains psychology in a nice and PG-16 friendly way, but he also has original concepts. Both of these people are adding something new to the videos they comment on, and they both put effort into creating an actual brand. If YouTube pulled the plug on everyone with faceless commentary channels, they would lose a huge chunk of their ecosystem overnight. Do you think that these people are going to stay on YouTube if they're not making money? Like, this is their livelihood. Do you think YouTube wants to lose that much money from people putting in actual effort? Another platform would happily take YouTube's place. Rumble, TikTok, Facebook, or any platform with a better monetization policy would welcome every single one of us with open arms. YouTube doesn't want that. They can't afford that. So what's the move? Well, if you're using mass-produced templates like ranking shorts, top 5 countdowns, water in the mouth funny reactions, or reading Reddit stories with AI voices and Minecraft in the background, and you're just like on top, just like smirking or like at the bottom making a face once in a while, just know you're probably at risk. It's very possible you might get demonetized. Very possible. Now, the same goes for these quick cut AI content mills that recycle the same format 50 different ways. You need to either transform the format or add something of you. Even just your face, even just your own voice. Like I said earlier, I show up on camera now, even if it's just a bubble in the corner or a quick intro. But you need to say something. You need to make it transformative. Now, rest assured, even before I started showing my face, I felt confident that I could continue with faceless content, even with this new update. I could have kept going like that if I wanted to, because nobody can clone me. You can copy my script. You can steal my edits. You can even rent an 11 Labs version of my voice or clone me with a service like HeyGen AI, but you can't fake the personality, the timing, the rhythm, the perspective I have unless you actually have one too. You can't fake the content I actually teach without knowing it or the transformative effort behind it. One day I might have my face, one day I might not, but the decision is always my own, and it's not produced at scale. And even if I did produce it at scale, you wouldn't be able to tell because I would put the same effort into driving the transformative value. You can't replicate what truly makes it authentic and original, because if you did, it wouldn't be replicating, it would be something new. And that's exactly what YouTube wants. More thought, more originality, more real people and thought behind the content, even if they're taking inspiration from another YouTuber, which everyone does, by the way. Every successful YouTuber does that. What they don't want is someone paying $59.99 a month for a bot to crank out 3 auto-posted AI-narrated Reddit shorts a day, while the channel owner literally never looks at the YouTube Studio app once, or just editing mass-produced listicle or compilation content with no voiceover or transformation whatsoever. That isn't content. That's effort-free copy and paste looking to get a quick check without providing anything original. And YouTube and everyone else can smell the difference. Whether you show your face or not, whether you're using AI tools, voice actors, your own mic, whether you're doing reaction content, whether you're doing automation, what matters most is transformation. And transformation only happens when you bring real value and real personality or branding to the table. Transformation is the shift that the viewer feels. Maybe it's a genuine perspective if the channel's doing reactions to crash outs or whatever you're doing reactions to. Maybe it's a workflow that saves them hours if you're creating AI voice tutorials. Maybe it's a new lifting technique if you're doing commentary on viral gym clips, or actually making them feel something, laugh or cry or feel anger or something with something you've narrated or did besides the clip that you copied and pasted. Value is giving your viewers something different they haven't seen copied and pasted 1,000 times before. Personality can also make it transformative. Your tone, your delivery, the way you build tension, the way you land a joke or explain something so simply they feel smart just watching it. Entertainment or education is the name of the game. You're either entertaining or you're educating, or you're doing both. When you have transformative content that isn't mass produced, that's what makes your videos and channels safe. And if you add personality or a brand behind that, that's when a video becomes unforgettable, with or without your face on the screen. Faceless is not finished. Reaction content, channels that use AI and automation aren't disappearing. They just need to evolve. If you're adding transformation, value, or personality somewhere in the process, you're doing exactly what YouTube says it wants more of. These formats can absolutely stick around if they're done right. And if one day YouTube cracks down on faceless content even harder, the real ones will just adapt, even if it's just for a few seconds at the beginning and say something. If you're ready to do this the right way and you're serious about being a creator, and if you're ready to actually build a channel that can make money and drive value long term, download my free viral video cheat sheet below. It's the exact system I used to get monetized with my very first long form video on this channel, 130,000 views and 4,000 subscribers in just 30 days. Links below. Don't be scared, be original, or be forgotten. And subscribe and join my Discord community below as well. Dude, I just realized my hair light was off the whole time. I could have had a beautiful, sexy light there for you guys to see the whole time, and it was off. Terrible. Most important thing is I got value out for you guys.